One of the highlights of spring for me has got to be when the snowdrops first come into flower, because it means that longer, warmer days are on their way and we'll soon be enjoying glorious weather like this and getting out in the garden. Now, these snowdrops have gone over now, the flowers have faded and the seed pods are starting to develop, but there's still lots of nice green foliage here. They haven't started to die back yet. So this is a perfect time to lift and divide any congested clumps like this one here if you want to increase the numbers in your garden and spread them around a bit more. And likewise, if you don't already have snowdrops in your garden but would like to get them established, then this is the time to be buying them in the green as they are now. You can buy snowdrop bulbs later on in the year, in the autumn, as dry bulbs, but they don't tend to establish as well. So if you can get hold of them like this, you're in with a much better chance of getting these beautiful bulbs growing in your garden, where they will quite happily naturalise and self-seed and give you drifts of those gorgeous snowy white flowers in the spring. These are Galanthus nivalis, which is the single flowered form of snowdrop. You can get double flowered forms too, and a whole range of cultivars, many of which can change hands for hundreds of pounds per bulb. But if you want lots of snowdrops in your garden, then this is the one to go for, as it does bulk up so quickly and is relatively inexpensive to buy. If your soil is on the drier side, then you might fare better with Galanthus elwesii, as that seems to thrive on drier soils. I've tried growing it in the garden here and the soil is just a bit too heavy and too wet for it. All the bulbs just kept rotting off, so I stick with this particular one. Now, it's the easiest thing in the world to plant snowdrops. What I'm going to do is break this clump open a bit to just make them slightly smaller pieces that I'm planting. I may be looking for about 10 or 15 bulbs in the clump that I'm going to put back in the ground. And also where these bulbs were lifted from, I also had quite a few perennial weeds. So you can see there I've got some ground elder in amongst this. So I just need to make sure I get all those bits of ground elder root out. Let's have a quick look in this one. That looks nice and clean now, so that's fine. So I've got a nice clump of bulbs there. And it's the easiest thing in the world to plant them. You could use a small spade, you could use a bulb planter. I'm just using my trowel. This is part of the garden I've already prepared. They're going to be edging a path here, just a great big line of white. They'll look fantastic in a year or two. And just dig a hole, and I'm literally just digging a hole the depth of the trowel blade like that, and then pop the bulbs in, sit them in the bottom of the hole, and then just backfill it with soil, and that's it. Now this soil is nice and damp, so I don't need to worry about watering them in. If your garden is that little bit drier, then you might want to put a bit of water on them, especially if we get really hot weather as we are doing at the moment. And that's it. So it's just a case of getting planting.